I'm gonna do an insight video. I haven't done one for like a few days or even a week or so. Just been doing a lot of work. There's a lot of shifting still going on. I feel like still constantly we're shifting around like the third dimension to the fourth, through into the fourth, into the fifth, and there's a lot of shifting still going on. I've been drawn to a lot of podcasts lately that I've been listening to. There was one that I listened to the other day about six-dimensional reality and manifestation, which goes in line again with what I feel and think and have sort of like an experience myself where it comes to sort of like spiritual reality and spiritual sort of frequencies, soul, source, essence. They're all part of the same sort of like one vibration, but they're also sort of there's some higher frequencies and higher dimensional experiences here. So again, it's sort of like today I want to talk about like the third dimensional reality and how we sort of like move through this, and how we start to dissolve this, and how we start to move into these higher realities and higher awareness and higher sort of frequencies, which is what I feel like the masters and the angels and all guides are very much trying to sort of like direct us towards, because there's a shifting on the planet and there's a shifting within us. As I move into it straight away, my frequency, the whole of my frequency within my body changes and it shifts. So on the third dimensional reality, it's very heavy, it's very dense, it's very connected to daily worries, and sort of daily sort of like things that go on, with money and like job and uncertainty with like the economy and all those kind of things are very much the third dimensional reality. They're an outer reality which are very much around the outer world, but they don't connect to source energy, and they don't connect to your spiritual essence and co-creation in that sense. They're part, your consciousness shifts and it changes depending on what thoughts that you send out there. And again, this comes back to the universal laws again of vibration, and sort of like your frequency that you send out. It also comes back down to like this universal law of correspondence, where you know that you sort of like what you create from within is your outer reality. So again, it's very much asking us to go back to our source energy, our essence, and connect to that, and dissolve and release. But the thing is, a lot of the things that are going on with our spiritual reality is we're sort of like, the more that we're consciously connected or attached to the third dimensional reality, the more we can't dissolve it and we can't shift it. One is very much sort of like, when you start moving into the fifth dimensional reality, it's not even about when you start relating it or like linking into those kind of higher frequencies. It's not even about thought. It's more about just being. It's about doing something. It's like you're. It's like a knowing that you are that kind of frequency. You're that energy. You're not seeking something. You're not trying to find it. You are it. It's a completely different shift in that energy. And the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension is very much around that. It very much knows that you're part of a collective, but you're part of like oneness, a oneness vibration. That all things are interconnected. Nothing's separate. And you also know that you as a co-creative being, and with your essence and your source energy, that you can create. I feel the experience for me personally, how I experience it is, I go within and I connect into an energy and I become a light, and that light doesn't need to do anything. It just is. So if you really sort of like allow that energy of what I've just said to you, like just to resonate and sit within your own energy field, there's a different frequency to that. So you're not even trying to, I mean, to me it's like, you don't, like, we talk about universal law of attraction, we talk about manifestation, we talk about compensation, we talk about all these things, cause and effect. But when you really really sort of resonate or really sort of like vibrate on that frequency where you just are, then you automatically draw those things to you, because you already know that you're this source energy, that you're this source light, this energy and this light. You're not having to create anything, because you are it. And you know that the abundance is there, you know that the harmony is there, you know that the flow of the universe, that you're working in source energy. So you're not really trying to manifest or create anything, you're just expressing your essence and your source. And this is what I really feel is the higher frequencies. Um, you know that you can manifest and create, but like within this, I really feel within this sort of energy and this frequency, when you really sort of awaken to that source energy, you are where you are and you just express that. And if you express that, you're connected to the flow, you're connected. So things are attracted to you because you're expressing your essence, your source. That there's nothing to do. There's just you just are literally being that energy. So I mean, a lot of us get caught up with seeking and manifesting and creating, but I really feel like that when you're in that kind of energy, in that source energy, there's no problems, there's no issues because you're expressing yourself truly. You're expressing your true self. And when you do that, you're connected to source, you're connected to your guides, you're connected to your helpers, but you're also connected to the universal laws because you're actually living and expressing yourself in a way that's, you know, you're a true reflection of your divine light, your divine essence, your divine energy, and that will attract and create what's needed within your life because you're already connected in that flow. I mean, a lot of us look at like law of attraction, we look at abundance and stuff like that, and very much the third dimensional reality. When you start to shift past that, you know that the abundance is there, but you also know the system of the universe works very different to money and possessions and materialism and stuff like that. So you're not attached to that anymore. You let it go, you dissolve it. In the third dimensional reality, you have to dissolve it, you have to let it go. And again, this is where I'm being directed, and I really feel like Saint Germain is very much connected with this kind of shift. And also Serapis Bey, I want to bring in Serapis Bey, who works with Ascension. So I feel these two energies, his masters, work very much in line with this. So Serapis Bey works with Ascension and awareness, and works with this white energy, so it clears and cleanses and purifies and allows this higher frequencies to come through. He also works with like pyramids in that sense. So pyramids are like a portals that go to the higher dimensions, higher frequencies. He brings a sacred frame like a beacon of light that shines and dissolves as well. But it's also, I feel like both of these two sort of energies, like all the master energies, work in complete union. You sort of like Almora that obviously connects you into that divine source, that divine awakening, that divine will, and then you've got like Lord Lanto that works on the illumination of the heart. So it starts to open up to your source, it connects you to that energy, you start to express that light, that essence in everything you do. And then you've got Paul Venetian, who's very much around creation, around love, union, harmony, which is the pink energy. And then you've got Serapis Bey, which is again the ascension, which I just talked about, the purification, the white light, the energy. And then you've got like a law, like Master Hieron, that looks at like the truth, the true reflection of like, you know, the essence, the energy, and the true reflection of like spirit, and seeing that sort of like that truth, or seeing beyond, and seeing what's truly there. You start to align again with that divine intelligence, which is part of Almora, but it's also part of that kind of Master Hieron. And then you sort of like you start moving towards sort of like, it's like I said, Saint Germain, which is very much around this kind of energy of transmutation and transformation, and it brings this violet flame, which obviously releases and cleanses and clears all your energy, which is very much needed. But all these are higher frequencies, and again, these are all very much like in the fifth, sixth, seventh, whatever dimensions, as these celestial beings, and we very much need to do that. We need to express that. And it's like it's very much around slowing down, sitting in that source energy, and just integrating it and sort of remaining in it. I mean, I'm seeing sort of like, I've been seeing flames the last couple of days, and they very much sort of like transmutate and transform as well. But I also sort of like very much connected with like rebirth, and again the energy of like the phoenix, which is a very much sort of like the fire that you know clears and cleanses and purifies. Any kind of fire clears, cleanses and purifies, and these are all these sacred flames that people talk about, like the violet flame, that they are very much sort of like they purify and they illuminate and they connect to the essence. the essence of the light, the energy, which we very much need at the moment. But this sort of like read it, or this insight is very much around sort of dissolving the third dimension, which is what we need to do. It's a daily practice where you just keep going back to it, and this is why these universal laws are so important. Again, the law of oneness, knowing that all things are connected, that we're all spirit, we're all spiritual energy, that we know that we're all essence, we're all the same. We're that divine creative spark, we're that blueprint. We've all got that creative, sacred sort of like creative energy and that creative coding within us, the light, the energy that we can all use. And also this universal law of vibration, when you start to live in a way where you're not attached to those physical material worlds, but you start to live on the inner world, the inner planes, where you start to shift and sort of like align your vibration and your frequency. Again, this creates the universal law of correspondence, where you take time daily to just sit within your source energy, and close your eyes and sit in it, sit in that energy for a second, and just feel it, live in that vibration, and then express it. But take time every moment of every day to keep going back to that source energy, because that source energy dissolves, purifies, it attracts, it brings all that kind of essence, that energy that we need, those vibrations, those frequencies, those opportunities. And this is where the divine flow starts to connect in, and it connects with the law of attraction. It also connects with the law of cause and effect, where if you're sitting in a place where you're creating from a place of essence, then you're creating it like a reality that is a spiritual reality, and that creates again and connects to the universal law of oneness. There's loads of it. You've got the universal law of compensation, the universal law of tenfold. If you're giving truly, you're giving out to the universe, and truly opening your heart and allowing it to flow out, then you'll receive tenfold. And that's the opening of becoming connected to source, because the source energy, the essence energy within yourself, that you're starting to express that, and walk as spirit, and walking as a divine being, on the planet, and in light and in the energy that's lightening the way, not darkening with like heavy thoughts and lower frequencies. It's very much around vibration again. You've got the universal law of polarity again, which is positive and negative, but again it's about sort of seeing how you use your energy, how you use your light. Also, you've got that universal law of perpetual transmutation, which very much connects again to Saint Germain. Saint Germain is the alchemist. He had a past life as they talk about the past life as Merlin, the magician, but it was about alchemy. It's about spiritual alchemy. It's about creation. So again, it's about just. But I really do feel really strongly when you're in your essence and you're connected in that light, you're secure. You feel secure. You feel trusted in the universal source. You feel energized, you feel aligned, you feel open. And when you're open, that's when things start to flow. The universe flows with you, and your frequency, it will align with your frequency again. So this is what I mean by creation. We get so caught up in thoughts instead of frequency, and the frequency is the important thing. The vibration and the frequency is the important thing. So when we connect into like our essence and our light, then we open up to an infinite source of energy, an infinite source of intelligence and light and knowledge and wisdom that's in with each spirit, which holds within each spiritual frequency. And when we open up to that, the universe then opens up to it, and then we start to obviously receive information, we receive guidance, we connect to our higher self, we start to create and express our light from a higher perspective, a higher outcome. And this is where the universal law of attraction works again, but this is where we start to create and manifest reality, but this is where we manifest heaven on earth again. And it's very much around that. It's like it's not so much that we need to do so much or seek or find, it's just express yourself in your true light, your true energy. And that's the practice, and that's mastery, and that's what the ascended masters did. They connected to a source, and they connected their own source, they connected to their higher selves, they opened up and they walked and they integrated that energy. And that's why they were sort of illumined to other people, and that's where people sort of like were drawn to them, because they could feel their frequency, they could feel their light, they knew that they were connected to that source and that essence. And then also that opened them up, because once they started to connect to the masters on that level, they started to see that that energy, that light was within themselves. So each of us has the power to awaken ourselves, but each of us has the power to also sort of walk with that light, and that express that light in the world, and also connect to each other and awaken that in each other. And this is what Master Jesus did. The Christ energy, the Christ consciousness did it awakened this high frequency of spiritual energy, and then it then awakened it in others. It awakened that source energy in others, and it obviously then from there everybody started to awaken, and started to awaken to their true light, their true essence. And this is part of what the shift's about here. There's a lot of systems that need dissolved, and there's a lot of clearing that needs doing on the planet. The planet needs clearing and purifying, and this is why Saint Germain's violet flame is so important, because it transmutates and it transforms, and we all need that at the moment. We all need to be doing that at the moment. But so I think really it's about really dissolving the third dimensional reality. Stop being connected to that reality, that connection, feeling like you're being controlled, or you're being directed by money and all that kind of stuff. Because the true sort of like currency of the universe is love, abundance, joy, happiness. That's the currency of the universe, not a financial, not money. And when we start to sort of like shift past that, we dissolve the third dimensional reality and we move into the fifth, and that's when we start to really truly flow, and we see that the abundance is everywhere. That there is nothing that we need or we need to try and create. We just express ourselves truly who at our highest out, our highest vision, or our highest sort of like light, or express our light, and then we will sort of like literally just draw and attract those things that we need, because we don't need anything. We're just attract, because we're expressing that light. That light will be reflected within our own lives. The universe and our reality will be a mirror of what we are and what we're expressing, our vibration inside. And once we start to do that, then we dissolve everything else. Everything else dissolves away, and then what's left is this our true reflection, our true essence, and then that will start to create and manifest within our own lives. So that it's really about trying to sort of like shift the third dimensional reality, because I feel that's so important that we need to dissolve that at the moment, because so many of us are still sort of like working on that daily,